Okay, so part two, we're going to now be plugging in our range on what we want to find the area. Remember, integration is finding the area below the graph. Now the reason why we have this formula that says that we're going to plug in 2 and we're going to subtract it by plugging in 1. And the reason is because we want to find the area between 1 and 2. So if we find the area of 2, we're going to find the area of all of this. But we only need from 1 to 2. So we're going to subtract this area right here. We're going to subtract this area. And so now we only have this. So we get the area from 1 to 2 and we subtract the area from 0 to 1. I know it's hard to see that, but hopefully this graph, and this is not the right graph. I just did whatever graph, just for an example, okay? So now that we have that out of the way, we can start plugging in. So when we plug in 2, we literally just write everything 1 over 2. And anywhere you plug in your 2, put brackets so that you don't make any mistakes. Oh, I keep writing x. 2 plus 1/2, and this brackets, and this is going to be subtracted by plugging in 1. 2, remember, put your brackets around where you're plugging in so it doesn't get confusing. Look at, I'm not listening to my own advice. Okay. Now, when we're subtracting this negative, that negative becomes a positive. So this will change to plus, and this will change to a plus, right? Negative and a negative positive, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to simplify. Now we know what ln1 is. ln1 is 0. So that's not 1, it's 0. This is 0. So what's left in the second part? Whatever's left in the second part is 1 over 2, 1/2 times 1/2. Remember, these brackets indicate this is multiplying by every single one. But this is 0, so this times 0, 0, this times 0, 0, so 0 plus 0 plus 1/4. Over here, well, we know that there's a value for ln2, but we don't know what that value is. So maybe we want to FOIL out this as we go along, see what happens. So when we multiply this, so this is 1/4, 1 times 2 times 2, 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So let's not do that. Let's just say it's negative 1/8 times ln2 squared plus ln2 plus 1/2 plus, now when you multiply this, this is 1/2 times 1/2, that's 1/4, right? Perfect. So we can actually pull out a 1/4. All this plus this, you could pull out a 1/4, right? And then maybe the negative we could put on this side and it might be easier. So if we pull out a 1/4, that's an ugly 4. What becomes? So if we pull out a 1/4 right, we'll pull out a 1/4 right here first, that becomes 1. So we'll have 1 minus, what happens when you pull out a 1/4 right there? Well, 1/4 times 1/2 is 1/8. So we'll have 1/2 times ln2 squared, ln2 squared plus ln2 plus 1/2. Now right here you need to ask yourself, is this easy enough to plug into your calculator? And if not, what can you do, right? So we could pull out another, let's say we pull out a 1/2 from these two. Well, this becomes 1/2 minus all of this, and that might actually look better, but it looks like you can actually plug this into the calculator and you won't have a problem with it, right? I mean, you could simplify as far off as you want. It just really depends. So for me, I feel comfortable right here to put it in my calculator because there's only 2 brackets. There's this ln2 squared. Make sure that you put the parentheses right there. And let's see what comes out of it. So we're gonna do 1/4 insert times brackets 1 minus half times ln2 squared plus ln2 plus 1/2, close the brackets, still need a big bracket right there. That bracket is closed. ln2, and we need one more bracket. One more bracket. And looks good. So our answer should be, and I have not checked, I probably should have checked, is equal to 0.0408 approximately. I rounded. And there you have it. Hopefully that was helpful. Good luck on your studies. Don't be intimidated. Take it one step at a time. Put brackets wherever you need to, just so you can see what's going on. And simplify when you can. Simplify to the point where you feel comfortable, and then you can plug it in to your calculator. Alright, good luck on your studies. Remember, make sure you know where you went around to, what decimal place.